Part 3, I think. That's when we met.
4, I'm not sure. I lost count.
Ah, lost count. That's all right. Okay, Tony. So, you separated from your first wife, and then you're alone, and you like wearing female clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're in Fredericton.
Actually, I wasn't 100%. About a year after separation, I first started dating my second wife, my current wife. Hope this marriage does make it to the end.
How long have you been married now?
We've been married 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
And I met her actually in the church here.
And were you wearing female clothes then?
She knew. Very early on, again, I raised the issue. And she was comfortable with it, although she's expressed that she's not comfortable in public with me dressed.
I wonder why.
Well, she doesn't like, she doesn't like being the center of attraction. She says if she comes into a room, she always makes sure she's on time because she doesn't want to be the late person coming in and everybody turns to look at you. And she figures that if she's with me, everybody will turn to look at us, and that's just as bad. So, hey, I can live with that. It would be nice if we could go out and
okay.
100%. But hey, you can't have everything.
Okay, here we go. So this is the part that I want to hear. Okay, so you're not gay.
No.
You like to wear female clothes.
Mm-hmm.
You said, okay, enough is enough. Fredericton, the snobbiest city in whatever, the Western Hemisphere. You went out in public dressed up as a female. What was the reaction?
Okay, I started. Now let's back a bit.
Go ahead.
About 5 years ago, the fellowship here decided to complete what's called the Welcoming Congregation program. And the Welcoming Congregation, you make the effort to be explicitly welcoming to members of the gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, transsexual, trans whatever else, questioning, queer, all the things that Q can stand for, communities. And so I said, okay, if we are serious about this, then I said I would put on a talk about cross-dressing. And at that time, I don't think people realized that I was a cross-dresser. And I do know that when I showed up for that talk, I showed up, it was the day before Valentine's Day, I think. So I showed up wearing a nice red outfit for Valentine's Day. And some people, I think, were a bit surprised. But I said that, and I talked about what I had done, found out from my own research and from my own experiences and all that sort of stuff. And I said that part of becoming a welcoming congregation is that people such as I should be able to come here like this and nobody thinks twice about it. And in fact, when I first started coming to the fellowship, there had been a person who would show up, a couple of times a month cross-dressing. He was quiet, never spoke much to anybody, and I think he moved away sometime before I came out. But when I came out, I said this is going to be part of it, and I say that the fellowship will be one of those places where I can appear dressed as, cross-dressing, which is people, I think, understood that yes, this is part of what it means to become a welcoming congregation, and they were, again, I'd say the vast majority of people in the congregation were happy with that.
So you came here, after a while you got comfortable, then you made the big step. Well,
yes, started appearing occasionally in public. The first couple of times it was not deliberately. My youngest son has what I call my grand dog. Peerless is a golden retriever that I would take for walks, say in the woodlot or other places, and where we walk be out in the middle of nowhere. So occasionally I'd be me wearing women's clothes underneath whatever I was wearing. I'd just take off the other stuff and we'd, it was fun, out in the breeze out in the open. It's very pleasant to have your, the skirts, being rubbing gently against the legs, and the silky, just the feeling of it is sensual in a way that men's clothing never would be. Take my word for it. You don't have to try it.
No. Trust me, I won't.
Nor your listeners or viewers.
If it would be pretty interesting if I went to Green Zone with a dress on. Anyway, never mind that.
Okay.
Okay, so
about a year and a half ago, I can't remember. It must be 2 years ago now. The university, my employer, brought out what they called the Charter of Rights and Responsibilities, and I downloaded it. I was reading through it, And at a certain point it says, and the university acknowledge all the things, that the New Brunswick Human Rights Commission, it goes through the whole list.
I hate that group, but it's okay.
Well, at any rate, they go through the whole things for which you're not supposed to discriminate. And then I read through it, and it's the standard list, and at the end it says, and the university extends this to include issues of gender identification, or gender identity, or expressions of gender identity, I think is their precise wording. That's, ooh, wow. So I wrote a little note to my immediate supervisor saying, I think I will occasionally take advantage of this, this new protection that I can express, my own gender identity, and the university would say it's cool with it. So that I started doing it at the university. And since I typically walk to work, that means I usually do it walking across the hill, so the people in general in Fredericton. And I would say in Fredericton the only people who have any sort of issue with it are teenage boys who are driving, perhaps to and from the high school, or construction workers.
They never whistle at you?
The construction workers working, as say, on that new Woodsides erection beside the Playhouse.
They never whistle at you?
The construction workers did. So, hey, I do the same thing I think a normal woman would. I just ignore them. Just keep walking.
Yeah. Excuse me, okay, hold it 1 second.